Welcome to the AFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things AFC West. From the best creators in the division, including Denver Broncos creator Ryan, Kansas City Chiefs creator Marcus, Las Vegas Raiders creator Samoan, and Los Angeles Chargers creators Bolt Bros. Catch the AFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the AFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. AFC West Roundtable, how are we doing? We got a great show in store for you guys because the entire division dominated this week, fellas. Look, I don't know how many times we're going to be able to say this, so let's just sit in this for a minute. Let's just savor today's episode because it is good vibes all around. And Samoan, man, I'm talking to you, baby.
Hey,
You're
man.
Back into the win column.
It's good to be back in the dubs, bro.
I see the smile on your face. Man. So today's going to be a great episode, recapping everything that happened in week 6. And of course, previewing what these guys are expecting for their respective teams in week 7. So without further ado, let's just quickly go around the panel, see how these guys are feeling after a dominant week 6. Andrew, man, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say the word dominant, but we got the dub. It is what it is. Another win, another day, another dollar. But bottom line, it feels good to win, and hopefully we get right back on track. I will say this. The good news is for the Chargers, Khalil Mack looks like he might be coming back. Trey Pipkins should be coming back. Joe Alt should be coming back here pretty shortly, and we're going to be getting some of our other big defensive players. So we should be pretty close to healthy by the time we play the Colts this week. So, and the Bolt Bros will be there in LA, so it should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And just in a quick 30 seconds here, Andrew, I'm curious, just kind of what are the thoughts among Chargers fans here? Because big storyline for you guys is the injuries, and more specifically to the running back position. Starting running back goes down. Backup running back goes down. You guys head into this game with a backup running back. Correct me on his name here, Vidal here, and he goes 18 carries, 124 yards. He averages 6.9 yards per carry. Do you guys now feel good about your running back core, even with your starting 2 guys out?
Yeah, so great question, Colby. Yeah, so again, Marion Hampton's out, injured reserve. We all know what happened to Najee Harris. He's out for the season, torn Achilles. So Kamadi Vidal comes in. He's really just on the practice squad. And he came up and, hey, he balled out his first game for the Chargers, 18 carries, 124 yards, 6.9 yards per carry. So clearly he can do the work, right? And, a lot of people thought the biggest problem with Kamani, and probably the biggest reason why he didn't make the squad, he's not great in pass protection. He's more of a scat back. And he's not a huge body, right? So I think that's where he's a little bit different. And Harbaugh really likes the big bodies to protect Justin Herbert. We all know the offensive line woes. Big reason why Kamani Vidal wasn't out there was because of that reason. But he played great. Now, Hassan Haskins is more in there for pass protection and special teams. Having said that, we did just sign Jarrett Patterson to the practice squad today. So he's been a bit of a journeyman. He's another guy we're signing. And there are rumors that we're talking to other teams to potentially make a trade for a running back. So we'll see what happens. I know, Joe Ortiz wants to make trades, and, clearly this organization believes in what they have now. They just need a few more pieces to be more competitive. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome stuff. Ryan, let's go on over to you. How are you feeling? And more specifically for you, I want to know what your thoughts are about this Denver Broncos team, because you guys get that dominant win against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. You give them their first L on the season. You're able to come back here and get a win. And in the league, a win is a win and a loss is a loss. And that is the only thing that matters. But you guys were very close to losing to the New York Jets. We know the Broncos have been very up and down this season. So what is your take on this team? Are you expecting them to do something in the postseason?
I don't know what the hell they're going to do, to be honest. We won, but it did not feel like a win. And I listened to a lot of, other people's podcasts, Broncos, former players discussing what they saw on film, and the overall consensus of this game, what went wrong, that O-line was ass. What I told you guys about Ben Powers going out, the concern was his physical ability. Well, Matt Pert was hot shit. He just got put on injured reserve because he busted his knee up or something. So fortunately, I'm kind of happy about that because he was garbage. I mean, he was going to get replaced. They started trying out other people. Like they thought about bringing back one of our guys that busted his ankle last year. That's no longer on the team as a free agent. But the offensive line, not just Matt Pert, but it was other guys like Quinn Miners missing blocks, just complete mess throughout the whole day. Like not once did I think that whole game that Bo was an issue at all. He was doing really, really well in the first half. And when the offense tried to get a rhythm, like flag every single time. He'd make a play. He'd get a long third down conversion, flag. So there was a lot that went on. The defense, tremendous. I mean, they're absolutely tremendous. Like without a doubt. Like Hufanga is such a beast, and it's only going to get better because Greenlaw is going to be coming back this week. But this O-line has to figure their shit out quickly, especially going up against the Giants this week, who they may not have like the best record, and they've been getting some luck recently with Jackson Dart, because there's no film on him, but they're a physical team. So I don't know what the hell we're going to do. It's really week to week with this team. It's like, are they going to be locked in? Or are they not going to be having all these penalties? That's ultimately what it depends on. Are they going to do their assignments and everything? Because the coaches can only do so much. These guys are just simply not executing.
Certainly not a position you want to be in with a team that obviously made the postseason last year, was better down the stretch. A lot of football to still be played, but if you're a Broncos fan, definitely feeling hot and cold. Marcus, let's go down to you. Your Kansas City Chiefs also feel like they're very hot and cold. You guys lose a thriller last week to Jacksonville, but you come out here and you get a dominant win back on track against the Detroit Lions. In 30 seconds here, just real quick, Marcus, can you fill everybody in what exactly happened after the conclusion of that game? Brian Branch punching Juju, a fight breaks out. Brian Branch is now suspended for a game. Can you walk us through from a Chiefs perspective what unfolded there?
Shout out Brian Branch.
One of the saddest things I've ever seen from a player before. At the end of the game where you guys were supposed to be dapping up, exchanging jerseys, we got a guy going after a player. You literally had 60 minutes to go at him during the game, but you wait till after the game to approach him and slap his helmet and then take his helmet off and throw a punch. Essentially Juju threw a blindside block during the game and he didn't like it, and so he waited till after the game was over to. He snubs Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes sticks his hand out to give him, good game. He walks right by him, then goes to Juju, slaps him in the helmet. Then Juju and him kind of have this little wrap-up thing, but Branch takes his helmet off and then punches him. I mean, Juju was bloodied up after that. And then after that, to make things even crazy and just sad, Branch goes in his locker room, talks about how he was bullied all game. I mean, the words bullied came out. It looked like, if you watched the press conference, it looked like he was going to cry. But yeah, he said he was bullied by the Chiefs all game. And it's last I thought it was football. I've never heard of guys getting bullied on the field, but hey, the guy owned up to it. He got bullied and his team got dominated. So that's kind of long and the short of it.
I mean, if you look at the score, they definitely did get bullied, Marcus. So
Dog walked.
You know what? Congrats to your Chiefs for getting back on track. Samoan, how you feeling, man? Look, you're back on track. All right. You're back on track for the week. You're in the win column.
For now.
That's got to be good enough, right?
Hey, man. Super Bowl, here we come, man. No,
yeah, hosting it.
I feel good, man. I feel happy that we actually won. We beat a team we're supposed to beat. Yeah. I know a lot of I don't care. I know a lot of other fans going to get on the Raiders for beating the Titans, and rightfully so, But it's more of the Raider fans are complaining about. Come on. We got to remember, man, it's just win, baby, at the end of the day, and that's what we did. And I was just happy to go to a game. I don't know when the last time the Raiders actually won at home. So to be in the stadium and just to leave and have a good time and just feel good. I mean, I feel like the food tastes much better. The air smells better out here. So, it feels good to be on this side of the win column and whatnot. So I feel good after this win. Definitely there was a lot of positives, some negatives as well, but I'm not going to let that take me down. And I'm not worried about the team that we're going to play this week just yet. I'm just going to enjoy these next couple of days before I have to worry about that. But overall, great defensive performance. Geno Smith. But I'll take the win. Yeah,
man, being back in the win column. All that matters.
We'll give them some slack. We're not going to harp on them too much because we won. But yeah, there's still a lot of questions there for sure.
Hey, a win is a win, right? Win is a win.
Win is a win,
loss. Wins are hard to come by in this league, and you guys were able to ultimately pull that one out. Guys, before we start getting into these games, real quick, want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of the video over at Sleeper. Use promo code you see on the screen, RTS, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Link in the description box below. Guys, we got a big in-division matchup this week between the Chiefs, between the Raiders. So I want to kick this one off to Samoan, and I want to kick this one off to Marcus to build us our quick parlay here for week 7. Samoan, let's start out here with you. You got Ashton Genty. Are you taking that anytime touchdown?
Oh, yeah. Easy. I think so.
Easy money. I love it. What about Jacoby Myers? Do you think that he could have a touchdown?
No. I don't think
you want
so.
to take the under on that one?
No. I'll take
Jacoby Myers not a guy who gets
he hasn't got a touchdown all
lot.
season long, and he's barely getting utilized right now. So I don't see that happening.
Hey, look, if you want to send him on over to the New England Patriots, man, I got a 4th round pick with your name on it, but we'll talk after
first,
stream.
though.
Yeah,
we'll
go first. Okay. Hey, that might be the 32nd pick in the first round. So you know what?
I got you, bro.
I got you.
All
right, Marcus. Hey, there you go. Let's kick this one over to you, Marcus. Rashee Rice, baby, back here for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Damn, out of all the weeks, dog.
You think he comes back and gets that touchdown?
Ooh, man, anytime touchdown. Do we have our catches on there, or is it just touchdowns right now?
Right now they have. Yeah, right now it's just anytime touchdown. They have 2+ touchdowns. If you want to do that one, you feel really good.
Oh man. Yeah, let's go Rashee Rice anytime touchdown. I mean, I'd be more comfortable with his catches, his over under on that, but yeah, let's do an anytime touchdown. I can see Andy force feeding him the ball and getting him his touchdown his first game back, and his first breakout game ever was against the Raiders 2 years ago. So
yeah,
hey, the Raiders struggle in the secondary. Big catch down the sideline. I can see it certainly happening. Now, Marcus, what do you think about this? Do you like Travis Kelce getting in the end zone in this game?
Do I have Kelce? Yeah, I can see Kelce getting in the end zone. I mean, I can see any of these guys getting in the end zone, man. The offense is back. So, yeah, I could see Kelce getting in the end zone as well.
The offense is back. That's going to be our parlay for this week. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments section below. And make sure you guys follow our parlay over on the Sleeper app. Fellas, let's go ahead and let's just get right into these games. And we got to, of course, start with the Chargers game against Miami. We've said it so many times this stream and so many times over the last few weeks that wins are hard to come by in this league. And you don't care about how you get them. You just care that at the end of the day, you get them you ultimately do get them. The Chargers, though, Andrew, we were talking last week about how this is a game you got to come back, you got to get right, and you got to win dominantly against one of the worst teams in the National Football League. I mean, the Dolphins' only win came against the New York Jets, who haven't won a single game this season. The Miami Dolphins were in this thing up until the end and had a real shot to win this, and that's despite Tua turning the ball over 3 times. So what are your thoughts on this game, and do you feel confident about your team moving forward?
I'd love to say I feel 100% confident. I'll tell you, the Chargers have just loved to make things interesting. We'll leave it at that, right? Look, I'll say that there's some interesting storylines here. And, some of the ones that I thought were pretty interesting going into this game were Joe Alt probably could have played, but the trainers kept him out. Trey Pipkins, our right tackle, probably could have played, but they kept him out. And Khalil Mack may have been able to play. So I think they kind of said, all right, let's let these guys relax and rest and get them ready for the Colts game. So hopefully we'll have more people back. Now, again, that's a Colts conversation. So, again, some big question marks, right? Who was going to run the ball, right? Clearly, Kamani Vidal took that load. He got 18 carries for 124 yards, averaged almost 7 yards per carry. The interesting thing about Kamani Vidal, though, typically Greg Roman runs a gap and go offensive system. It's just A gap, B gap, A gap, B gap. We did some more tossing, to the edges in our run game, and I think that worked out really well for Kamani because he's more of a scat back. He's not really more of a power back, right? So give him a little more space and stretch plays to run to the far side of the field, and it worked really well for Kamani. So. The other thing I would say too, offensively, and I think Greg Roman finally got my email. We need to max protect Justin Herbert. We were in a lot of 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Guys, let's just make something very clear. And I talked about Trey Pipkins and Joe Alt. We had a guy that was signed a week ago. He was a right tackle, Bobby Hart. He hadn't played in 2 years. He was a starting right tackle. The other guy, the left tackle, Austin Deculus, was signed from the Texans I think played 1 or 2 games total in 3 years for the Texans, could never get onto the field. He was our starting left tackle, right? So they had 2 tight ends pretty much the entire game, bookending those guys, making sure that they couldn't get any pressure on Justin Herbert, and it worked out well enough, right? I think they exposed the defense enough to get that win. My point in saying this is that, bottom line, Justin Herbert had to be pretty accurate, and he was. He was 29 for 38, 264 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But he had to find those windows to get into the wide receivers, open, in a lot of zone coverage is what I noticed with the Dolphins. So it was a good win. I'll be honest with you. It was a nail biter. I was like, holy crap, we're making this a lot more difficult than we need to. But you're right, Colby. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. I mean, look at the Broncos. They had a hard time against the Jets in London, and a win is a win. And desperate teams play in desperate ways, right? And I think the Dolphins also know their season's a wrap at this point, but at the end of the day, they might be getting a new head coach here pretty soon. And I think this is kind of the last gasp for them to really, get the season back on track. And, luckily the Chargers took care of business, but you got to give it to Kamani Vidal, 18 for 24, looked really good. We overcame a couple of turnovers as well too. Ladd looked good as well too. And boy, Justin Herbert's a dog. So, little disappointed with the defense. I think they made some pretty bad defensive plays, but bottom line, offensively, I think we look pretty good. So hopefully we can carry that offense to the next game, because we haven't looked that great offensively the past few games for sure. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the game.
Yeah, Herbert definitely playing at an elite level right now, and good to see Ladd McConkey also get back into the mix this week. Yeah. So maybe some 100%. Momentum that you guys can take into the rest of the season. But Ryan, let's get on over to you. What were your thoughts on the Chargers squeaking this win away?
Pissed. I was watching it and I was rooting for the Dolphins. The Dolphins shot themselves in the foot at the end of that game. They had 2 opportunities to put it away and sack Herbert, and they screwed it up. Couldn't bring him down. Ultimately, I mean, one play is it doesn't determine a game. There's a lot of stuff leading up to that. But your O-line is kind of cooked, I will say. Like, they were getting to Herbert, and there's a lot of questions, I think, with the Chargers in terms of, it seemed like you guys had the AFC West pretty early in those first 3 weeks, and now it's completely different. It's wide open. The Chiefs are looking good again. Our record still keeps us in the mix, aside from how the offense is looking, but our defense is going to be elite for, the rest of the season, it seems like, because they've been the most consistent part of our entire team. And then you guys have some injuries and some things going on. We have a couple of injuries as well, but nothing as significant as what the Chargers are going through right now. So, solid win by the Chargers, but I think them. I like how you described it. How desperate teams, they'll come at you pretty aggressively. That's how I felt with the Jets, and that's what I was concerned with. They got nothing to lose, and they're just playing very physical, and that's what I kind of saw what happened in this game with the Dolphins. But yeah, I still see them like the Broncos got a great opportunity to still take this AFC West against the Chargers.
Certainly, definitely an opportunity, and it feels like this AFC West, as the weeks go on, is certainly more competitive than what we thought it was going to be, maybe a couple of weeks ago. Marcus, let's go down to you. What were your thoughts on this Chargers game?
Yeah, a close game. I think I was the only one who had the Dolphins winning last week. I thought the spread was weird, and the spread, they ended up covering the spread. The Dolphins did, but they had a chance at the end to sack Herbert, and Herbert's late game heroics, getting them in the it's a red zone. That Ladd McConkey play after the catch was awesome too. I think the one thing that stood out to me was Achane kind of had his way with the Chargers defense. His stats were nuts, and you factor that in, you're playing Jonathan Taylor this weekend. That's got to be a little bit scary. I think Achane's great, but Jonathan Taylor's a different type of beast. A win is a win, right? Regardless of how ugly it is. But, this isn't, you lose against the Giants. You have a close game against Miami. It just, you start to look at this team a little bit differently than you did. And obviously the injuries play a big part in all of that. A win is a win for the Chargers, but man, seeing Achane run for what he did against them, just it's not promising for as things continue to unfold for that team.
Certainly some run defense concerns there for the Chargers. And of course, as we all know, if a team's able to run the football on you, that's going to open up the pass. They're going to dominate time of possession. They're going to string together long drives. Biggest priority for teams defensively is making sure they shut down that run and make opposing offenses one-dimensional. But Simone, let's go on over to you. Wrap us up with this game. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just like Ryan, man. I was disappointed when they lost, when they actually won, because I caught the tail end of it when Darren Waller scored the touchdown. I was like, oh damn, the Dolphins got this in the bag. We good, man. It was good to see the Chargers lose. Just turn back around and see that the Chargers won. I'm like, damn, man. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. Good thing for the Chargers. They broke their losing streak, which is good for them. And I mean, Justin Herbert, man. What more can you say about his performance, just coming through in the clutch? And trust me, Andrew, man. I've seen a lot of games where the Raiders just always seem to make it a little, it makes my heart kind of start beating a little bit more at the end of the games. But I mean, you guys came away with the W, so that's huge. And as far as HM, I was just happy that he broke out, because he was on my fantasy and he basically helped me win this week's fantasy matchup that I had. But yeah, great performance by Vidal. I forgot how to say his name.
Yeah, come on,
and yeah, Vidal, whatever it is. But yeah. I mean, so a tough matchup. I mean, they came away with the W, and that's all that matters.
All right, guys, well, this is where we kick it off to. Let us know your thoughts about this Chargers win in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and let's get into this next game. And Ryan, I feel like we're going to kind of see you get on your soapbox here for a minute, because you guys are able to squeak this win away. 13-11 against the Jets. Honestly, it feels like, and no disrespect to the Denver Broncos, but a game that maybe the Jets actually should have won if Justin Fields hits Garrett Wilson out of his break. As soon as he gets out of that break, we're talking about them being in field goal position. Nick Folk's one of the best kickers in the NFL, one of the most accurate and consistent kickers. There's a chance they ultimately end up winning this game, but Justin Fields is Justin Fields, and you guys get this win away. So just what are your thoughts?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a game that they should have won. It's a game that I think we should have won by more, is a better way to put it. Because, I mean, if the defense was giving up a lot of plays, then maybe, but they were completely locked down. So, that play that Hufanga made on Garrett Wilson, I mean, that's just good defense right there. But my overall thoughts, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, the first half, I think Bo already had almost 150 yards. Everything was looking good. The offense was looking solid. They just had penalties that were getting them out of field goal range, getting them out of just the red zone range and all that were making the drive stall, even though everything was going good. I just saw actually right now that I mentioned Matt Pert. He went on IR. Turns out he busted his knee on the third play of the game, and then he stayed in for 57 more snaps. So maybe that's too harsh on him. He was trying to toughen it out. But listen, I know a lot of football people like to say, if you're in, then that means you got to perform to your best. And don't let these injuries nag you. Well, if you're going to screw up the team because of your injury, especially if it's a knee and you're letting guys run you over, get the hell out. Get the hell out. And dude, I know that may be your chance to shine, but you just screwed it up even worse now because of how bad it was. But this game I'm going to mostly pin on the offensive line. And one of the things I was worried about was that if we didn't have the run game, we wouldn't be able to do much. And that's kind of what happened because it has nothing to do with our skill position players or Bo Nix, having to rely on the pass game. But things just haven't been that smooth. There's a lot of different personnel packages and all that going on. And the run game was something that we could easily rely on. J.K. Dobbins getting those yards and all that. And it wasn't there. It wasn't there at all. I think Dobbins had 40 yards in total, and he didn't start to get going a little bit until maybe the third quarter or sometime in the fourth when we put together one decent drive for a field goal. So there's a lot of concerns. It's really weird because the week before when we played the Eagles, our offensive line looked great against a good Eagles defensive line. Saw massive holes for the run game. The offense still wasn't that great in terms of the passing game, but then they got things together in the fourth quarter. So I really we can't predict what's going on. It's either are they going to show up or are they not going to show up? That's literally where I'm at right now with the offense specifically. And then the special teams, I'm not going to let them get away with it either. They were giving the Jets perfect field position. They were letting 40-yard returns on every kick or punt return. It was disgusting. And actually now the Broncos, they just signed former Saints. Oh my gosh, it's a Saints guy. What a surprise. Former Saints All-Pro JT Gray, who was a special teams guy that Darren Rizzi really liked. So that just shows you what they think about some of the guys on special teams, and they need a boost because guys just aren't executing. I think that's ultimately what it is. The coaches can only do so much. These guys just aren't executing. The Jets, they had nothing to lose. They came to play. They were more aggressive overall. And maybe there's a hangover from the Eagles game or something. I don't know. It didn't seem like that with the defense, the offense. I don't know. It's really interesting, especially when you have an offensive head coach. I'm just going to in the end, I'm just going to say they're doing too much. They need to make it more simple. I saw like 10 different screen variations. Like, we do not need to see that. We don't need to see that at all. So yeah, there's my rant with that.
The funny thing, too, is that the Jets' defense has been probably the most disappointing part about that entire team. And, Richie from Jets Media over at the AFC East Roundtable, when breaking these games down, he was saying the defense finally came alive. And it's like, wow, the defense came alive against, Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, who offense really isn't a slouch. So definitely a little bit disappointing there.
Yeah.
Sounds like maybe play calling was
the one thing I also was concerned about was the fact that Aaron Glenn was a assistant coach under Sean Payton. So there was a lot more familiarity. So he might have known what he was going to do in regards to that, and maybe game plan better, because I don't know if this makes sense, but I've seen that with Sean. Like last year, I think we played the Bucs week 3, and Bo already looked like he's been in the league for like 5 years, because the offense was just shredding the Bucs. A Baker Mayfield team, like basically the same team as this year, for the most part, and Sean shredded the entire NFC South because of that familiarity. So that's kind of what I saw there, and I thought might happen with Aaron Glenn, and maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the Jets defense did look solid for that game. I'm not saying that they're a solid unit in general, but I'm saying for that game they did.
We have this saying over the AFC East Roundtable, when it's the Jets will jet. So they'll be back next week. But big shout out to Accelerator, who comes in with a $2 donation and says Raiders 97. Chiefs 10. Gino will throw 8 touchdowns. Shout out to Accelerator for coming and supporting the channel, man.
He's realistic.
Love the prediction. Love the prediction. But Marcus, speaking of the Chiefs, let's go down to you. What were your thoughts on this Denver Broncos win over the Jets?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like 2 games in a row, right, where we see kind of the Broncos offense, right? Like this first half, they looked solid. Second half, I don't know what happened. I mean, only 70 yards total in the second half of that game. And against the Eagles, it was pretty much nothing until the fourth quarter. So it's just kind of this up and down thing with the offense. And we're going to kind of see that. I mean, Bo Nix is going to get carried by the defense this year, and he's got a good offensive line. So, I mean, really, this shouldn't be happening. I mean, you guys mentioned the Jets.
They're not that good.
It's a pretty solid offensive line.
No, they're not that good. PFF is going to rank them as something. Listen, Mark Schlereth, who played offensive line for the Broncos, even said they're subpar. He should be a Hall of Fame offensive lineman. He said this whole year they've been like below average. But go ahead.
No, fair, but still, this is what we're talking about. One of the worst defenses in the league. They were going into that game. They were allowed 32 points a game or somewhere around there. And I was expecting more. I mean, I was expecting more of a full-on Bo Nix get right game. Sean Payton call a brilliant offensive game plan. I know it's in England, so it's kind of thrown off a little bit. But still, this is the kind of game. This is the spot we're going to see a big blow-up spot from everybody in the Broncos offense. That just didn't happen in this game. Obviously, 13-11. It's a win, like we've talked about the other games. A dub is a dub, but that's not the bright spot that we thought we were going to see from the Broncos offense. We'll say, though, I mean, Benito, is he the best defensive player in the league? I mean, because man, he's you can't stop him, man. You got 9 sacks in the game. I don't think anyone's even near close to you guys now. Last week, you guys were only 5 sacks higher than the next closest team as far as sacks this year. I think like now it's like 15 or 14 away from the next closest team. So you guys, I think I read a stat. You guys are on pace to break the all-time single season sacks record. So yeah, man. That defense is what we all thought was going to be going into the season, and really seeing it each week get better and better and better. But offensively, not a lot to love in Denver. But defense, that's the bread and butter for you guys.
Defense stepped up and certainly did their job. Simone, let's go on over to you. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, most definitely. Just to harp on Marcus's point, man, that defense continues to show up and bail out the offense yet again. And it's the same thing with the Chargers. When it came to the tail end of the game, I was rooting for the Jets to win, of course. Even though I had the Broncos winning, I was just surprised it was so close. that late in the game. But man, 9 sacks in this game alone. Justin Fields only had 45 total yards. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. So, I mean, it's a good job for the Broncos. There might be questions there offensively. And if I feel like it's a perfect situation for Bo Nix still, too, because I still feel like he's trying to learn a lot of things. And offensively, whether or not the offensive line is good, he has room to make mistakes or even not have a good game because he knows that defense is going to show up no matter what. And the Jets, I thought the Titans were the worst team in the NFL, but, I mean, the Jets just continue to show that there is a team that's even worse than the Titans. So at the end of the day, win is a win. For me, I'll take a win for sure, but I know for the Broncos, and I know Ryan might not like it, but you guys are 4-2 right now and still tied for first in the AFC West.
There you go, man. So certainly a bright side.
I'll take
certainly a bright side. Look, it could have been worse. It could have been worse, Ryan. So glass half full. You know what? You guys are competing for the division. You got to win, and that's all that matters. Andrew, let's go on up to you. Wrap us up with this game with your thoughts.
Yeah. Look, man, this is a perfect example of any given Sunday. I think every team in the NFL is good. Like, regardless of record, you can sit back all day and say everyone's, this team sucks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the wins and losses, that's what you're ultimately rated on. But guys, Justin Fields had 45 total yards, like technically -10, right? I guess, taking away some of his rushing. But that was one of the damn game. Like, how the hell is that even possible? And look, luckily, the Broncos have a good defense. And by the way, I don't even understand. The Jets are so stupid. They should have fired their head coach after this. Guys, they were in field goal range at the end of the game, and they decided to have Justin Fields, who was negative yards, to start throwing the ball all of a sudden. What the hell is that all about? The stupidest thing ever. Like, give it to Breece Hall, let him smash it up the middle and kick a field goal and win the game. I was beyond frustrated. Now, I didn't care who won the game, really. I guess if I was anybody cheering for the Jets, but good God, just stupid coaching, stupid play calls. I'll tell you right now, though, the Broncos don't look that good. I mean, and again, no offense to you, Ryan, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a defense like you had, I mean, Bo Nix looks horrible. Bo overthrows all day. I guess he had one touchdown, 19 for 30 for 174 yards. J.K. Dobbins was bottled up. He got 40 yards. It's one thing about J.K. Dobbins. He has good games, and then he kind of just disappears occasionally, which is, I don't quite understand why that's the case, but Evan Ingram didn't have a good game. So, look, the offense needs to get fixed, but lucky you guys got a good defense, man, and the Jets are just inept, and boy, that was just some stupid coaching at the end. I was so annoyed. I was like, you got to be joking me. I mean, how that dude still has a head coaching job, he must have some dirt on the owners or something, but man, fire him, dude. Get rid of that guy. He's terrible. Anyways, so that's my take on it. You got to win there, Ryan. Off your,
Bo didn't really have any overthrows in that game. Like, he was just doing what he was given to him. If anything, like I said, the offensive line, Dobbins was trying to run, but then there was a specific play. I think it was within the first, I think it was on the first drive, where two of our offensive linemen, they're moving up the field to block. Then they just let a guy go right through him, hit Dobbins, only 2-yard gain.
Is Lombardi still calling plays, or is Sean Payton calling plays?
Sean. Sean, and that's the other thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
His play calling from the first quarter and first half, where everything was going smooth, to the second half looked so different. He started calling straight dog shit. And someone in that building needs to put their life on the line, put their neck on the line, and call Sean out for it and say, listen, dude, some days you just don't got it, and you need to give it to someone else. We have 2 or 3 former OCs. We have Carmichael and Lombardi in there. Give it to someone else for just a day or something, or just one game. I'm not saying I give it up every week, but just for a change, get your ass up there in the box so you can see the game differently, and just maybe manage just to see it differently.
Yeah,
I've needs a little bit of a reset sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because Lombardi was an okay play caller for the Chargers, but yeah, I think he just seems, I don't know. Maybe
it was 3rd and 10. We were on our own 30, and then Sean runs a run up the middle with our fullback. What the hell are you doing? And then he brings in Jaleel McLaughlin, who hasn't played for 6 weeks, who's been inactive, and then runs him on 2 plays, and one of them's a drop pass. It's why have 4 guys running the ball? Like, it's just ridiculous sometimes with what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. He's doing too much. He's doing too much. Perfect the simple and then slowly progress to more advanced stuff. Because holy shit. Because that's where I think like these guys are getting confused because there's just way too much stuff. He's doing, we have like so many jet sweeps and these like double reverses. He's trying to do all this eye candy garbage. It's like, well, these guys are getting confused and they don't know who to block. Then they don't know who, like, how to execute because there's just so much shit going on.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, let's go ahead and let's get on into this next game here. Marcus, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. Y'all put absolute belt to ass, man. And is this you guys getting back on track officially, or is this a situation where it's like, yeah, dominant win, and then next week we're going to let Chiefs Kingdom down? So just break this one down for me.
Let's hope so.
I think we're back. No, I said it. I said it 2 weeks ago. Maybe a little. No, I think I said it last week, even after our loss against Jacksonville. I will say, you know, we had a lot of these talking heads who abandoned the Chiefs, saying the Chiefs are done, they're gone. But I'll tell you one thing: Vegas never abandoned us. And Vegas, after this game against Detroit, Vegas has us as the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They have Patrick Mahomes as the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. So yeah, I gotta say, man, Vegas knows what's up. But everybody else, all these other talking heads, like Chris Sims and all these other guys, man, my God, they get paid to talk, and the hot take nonsense needs to stop. But yeah, so 3 straight weeks of tallying at least 28 points. Most points scored in 3 game span since the 2021 season. The Chiefs have scored TDs on 33.3% of their offensive drives this season. It's the Chiefs' highest mark since 2018. So yeah, the Chiefs' offense is back, and like you mentioned, Rashee Rice is also back. So having him within that offense, man, I mean, we already have, I think we're one of 2 teams right now that have 4 players to have at least 220 yards receiving. And you add him to the mix now. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? And then also, to a lot of people, we're talking about the vaunted Lions offense, who I think they were averaging 32-plus points per game headed into that one. And they lead the game with 17. And it's the second time this year we played the team with the highest scoring offense going into the game. We did it against the Ravens. They were averaging 30-something points going into that game. They scored 20. And the Lions, they scored 17 in this one. Held the Lions in this Dan Campbell offense 5 for 11 on 3rd down and 0-2 on 4th down. The team that goes for 4th down more than anybody else. So we and it was the third lowest yardage output for the season for the Lions. But, man, all in all, I mean, it was just a clean game. I know people want to talk about the penalties. Oh, they had 0 accepted penalties. Okay, well, people act like the Lions had like 10 penalties in that game. We had 0. Well, it was only 0 accepted penalties, but they only had 4 penalties in that game. So the referees were kind of holding the whistle pretty much all night long. 0 and 4 penalties for both teams in that game. So, I mean, like, this wasn't some lopsided, Lions were dominated by penalties by the refs. The refs won this game for the Chiefs. No, the Chiefs dominated them. And I know people want to put their tinfoil hats on because it's the only way you can explain Patrick Mahomes dominating this league as much as he has. But sorry, guys, if you watch the game, the Chiefs dominated the Lions. First drive after they had a 15-play drive to score a touchdown, which was called back because of a legal procedure. And 15 plays, 3 points, 9 minutes. I mean, right there is deflating in itself. And then we come back the other way. We get the ball back. We score a touchdown. And then first try after half, we score a touchdown. Every time we needed to score a touchdown, we did. And that was reminiscent of the old school Patrick Mahomes offense from yesteryear, from 3 years ago. So, I mean, like, I know people want to make it try to have a way to explain what's going on here, but offense is back. We have weapons for days, man. Tyquan Thorne's our number 5. Juju Smith-Schuster is our number 4. Hollywood Brown number 3. Xavier Worthy number 2, and Rashee Rice back at number 1. And Kelsey, he's even looked like the younger man that he used to be. I mean, this looks like the spry Kelsey from 2 years ago. I mean, I think he had more broken tackles in the game against the Lions than he did all last year. So, I mean, this guy's back as well. Everything, we're firing on all cylinders here. And the one thing I will say, talk about the drawbacks, there's 2 things that stood out in that game as far as the concerns I have going forward. Well, our left tackle, Josh Simmons, who I praise all the time in the show, he missed the game. He has personal reasons, personal things going on. We don't know what that could be. And we don't know. We haven't heard anything from Andy Reid on what his status is right now. He had family reasons as far as why he wasn't at the game on Sunday. But Jalen Moore, who we did originally sign to be our left tackle before we signed Josh Simmons, he stepped up, was phenomenal, only had 3 pressures. And this is against the second best pass rush in the league, according to the statistics. And they amazing game from the offensive line. But the other concern I have, Harrison Butker, a guy who's I I've got to make comments here. You know, you spend too much time talking about what his wife should be doing and what's going on in politics with Trump. I mean, like, let's focus on kicking the ball, buddy. Let's get back to basics. Let's focus on kicking the ball. I know people always want to talk about like politics. Oh, Kelsey needs to stop with those Pfizer commercials. Okay, well, you know, let's talk about Bucker. Focus on kicking the football. But I will say about this though. Bucker missing Bucker having difficulties right now. It is forcing Andy Reid to be more aggressive offensively. There was one interesting stat here. Then since Patrick Mahomes took over in Kansas City, the Chiefs had faced 4th and 3 inside the 30 86 times in the first half of the game, and they trotted out the field goal unit 86 times until Sunday night, where 4th and 3, we went forward and scored touchdowns, Xavier Worthy. So it is kind of a good thing that, you know, while Bucker is going through some problems, it's forcing us to be more aggressive because with the mystery surrounding Harrison Bucker and his kicking. So I do love that. So there's a lot to love from this game. And it was against the Detroit Lions too. So we're talking about a team. This wasn't like people could say, oh, well, the Ravens had a horrible defense. No wonder why you guys slice and dice them. Well, no, Lions had a good offense and a good defense, and there was a lot of people Super Bowl favorites going to that game, and we took care of business. So
it was certainly a very, very good win. I'm looking at this one, and I don't really see how you take this one away from the Kansas City Chiefs. They hate them, love them. You got to give credit where credit's due, and they certainly put out a really, really good win here. Small, let's go on over to you. What were your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs win over the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I mean, this is one reason why, like, all season long, even though they've been struggling to get W's, you just seen that the Chiefs are always going to be the Chiefs, no matter how slow or how fast they start the season off. And as a Raider fan, is not what you want to see, but they definitely dominated in this game. Offense looks crazy, and they haven't even had Rice back yet. Patrick Mahomes looking like, you know, he looks like he's back in MVP form, which is something that you don't want to see. But, you know, they're slowly creeping back into the AFC West right now. They beat a good team in the Detroit Lions. I mean, I know the Lions secondary had a lot of injuries, and they struggled to even, you know, stay up to keep up with the Chiefs. But overall, like I said, man, this is something that I was kind of worried about going into the season with them, and I know they're just in time to play us this week. So that's why right now I'm trying to enjoy what we have right now, and then hopefully we pull off the upset, because you never know, man. I know that well, you know, I'll say it for the preview, but yeah, I think it was an overall dominant performance by the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs being the Chiefs, and now they're starting to become a bit of a threat now, 3-3.
And man, like we say, football doesn't matter until November comes around, and that's where it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs are starting to get hot. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Dude, I tell you what, man, the Chiefs are back. Look, here's the thing. Yeah, you're getting Rashid Rice back as well too. So I'm right there with you, Marcus. I hate saying it, but I'll say it to you this way: it's a 3-horse race. I mean, we know Raiders are ass. We're
one of those horses, dog. Don't forget about us, dog.
But look, the Raiders. I said this before, guys. I said at the very beginning of the season, Raiders are going to be 4th in the AFC West. It's going to be Chargers, Broncos, or Chiefs. Right? That's all it's going to be. Who's going to win? Again, I said Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos, and then going to be the Raiders. Right? So, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. I tell you, say what you want to say about them and the refs and all this and that. I mean, we can have all kinds of conversations about conspiracy theories and all the above, and Kelsey and Taylor Swift and all that garbage. But, man, Patrick Mahomes, 22 for 30, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oof, damn, that's a game. You know, Pacheco didn't run that ball that great. You know, Kelsey, you're right. Marcus looked pretty good. I freaking like the Lions too, man. They're a good team. So, look, you know, we beat Miami, the whipping boys, right? But at the end of the day, you beating the Lions, you know, pretty soundly is a bigger win than beating the freaking Dolphins. Squish the fish. Nobody cares about them, right? So, but here's my point, right? So, bottom line, you know, the Chiefs look good, man. I mean, it's going to be tough. 3-horse race, guys, in the AFC West, and I think it's getting real. So every game matters, and every win in the NFL matters. So yeah, good win for the Chiefs.
Absolutely, Ryan. Let's go on over to you. Finish this up. What were your thoughts?
Why couldn't you guys have done this last week when I had money on you guys?
I messaged you. I told you to bet on this weekend. I told you it wasn't gonna be close.
Marcus was looking out for you.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't want to sound like, you know, a robot like everyone else, but yeah, they're back. They're back, unfortunately. But I wouldn't say that they're back to, you know, their super, super prime form where, you know,
right,
we got to be super scared of them. I think I think they're back in terms of they're not looking as bad as they were earlier in the year. But I would say across the board, things are looking pretty even in the AFC West. You know, each team's got their flaw of some sort. Fortunately, mine right now is our offense. You know, the Chargers got their injuries, and the Chiefs, typically they got something. They got something, and we all match up against each other pretty well, I would say. So it's like any given Sunday with these teams. So it's kind of cool to see in a way. The Chiefs are going to be competitive this year. I mean, I didn't expect them not to be, but everything's at right now in the AFC in general. Like, it's going to be really exciting in November, December. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
All right, guys. Well, let us know your thoughts about this game in the comment section below. And fellas, we got one more game to talk about before we get into the previews. And Samoan, this is a big one for you, buddy, because you guys back into the win column. You guys win 20-10. You guys got such a good win over them that they decided to fire their head coach. Not even midway through the season, man. That was because of you guys. That's what you do. You guys were just too dominant. They had to let go of the head coach before the midway mark. But man, Samoan, how were you guys able to finally get back into the win column?
Man, it took us playing the Tennessee Titans, that's for sure. So, you know, I'm just happy, you know, we finally ended the 4-game streak, man. I know that there's fans that's complaining about, oh, it's a tie. I don't give a fuck. You know, we won. It sucks having 4 straight losses. So we won. And it's not even the fact that we just won. We actually won in good fashion. It wasn't like the Chargers or Broncos where it came down to the last play or whatnot, or the fourth quarter. We won in good fashion all game long. I was celebrating, and just it was like I was chilling. Like we don't get that every Sunday, so it was great. Of course, I want to highlight the defense side of the ball because, man, they definitely showed up, and they've been our highlight. You know, our bright spot so far this season. And it's been a surprise to me because I thought going into the season our offense was going to carry this team, but no, it's been a defense, man. They showed up in a big way against of course, a rookie in Cam Ward, but had 6 sacks, 3 turnovers in this game. Devin White having himself a game, 9 total tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, tackle for loss, and an interception, all in this game. And Jency definitely showed up as well, 75 total yards, a touchdown. Michael Mayer came in this week when we don't have Brock Bowers, and he had himself a touchdown as well. And, you know, I know it's the Tennessee Titans, like I said, but a win is a win. We needed this. And there was a quote, I think Jamal Adams kind of stated earlier, saying that, you know, it did look like there was a lot of players that seemed a little bit lost, or not lost, but kind of gave up a little bit because, you know, how bad it's been. But a win like this definitely puts everybody right back on track, especially for a big week like this week. Now, one thing that I'm really worried about is definitely Geno Smith. I kind of stated it earlier. Even though this team looks solid, you know, it seemed like the offense was playing safe with Geno Smith. He only had 174 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. I feel like Geno Smith I feel like he just has that itch. Like, it's like he has to get an interception. It was like, okay, man, I just wanted a clean game. You know, we don't have that big of an expectation on Geno Smith. But, you know, he threw an interception. But we came away with the W, so that's all we can ask for, and that's all I'm happy about. So great win by the team. Now we're 2-4, and, you know, we talked about, you know, there's going to be 3 teams going to the playoffs, and, hey, you never know, man, that win streak might start. So now I'm on the other side.
No, you never know, Simone. But, guys, we have about roughly just over 10 minutes left into the show, so I'm going to ask the rest of the panel in just about 2 sentences or so, give your thoughts on the Raiders getting back into the win column. Andrew, let's start with you.
I'll make it real quick, man. Samoan, savor the flavor. It ain't going to happen much more this year.
Hey,
but I'll say this.
Hey.
But I'll say this. Hey, good for you. You got a dub. That's all good, bro. So, and hey, look, you got a head coach fired. You also got the Chargers head coach fired. Remember when the Raiders mollywopped the Chargers?
That was the worst thing that we've ever done.
Yeah, that's right, because now we got Jim Harbaugh. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So anyways, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's what the Raiders are good for, man. If your head coach is on the fence, man, watch out for them Raiders. Ryan, let's go on over to you.
Yeah, enjoy it. Watch those highlights. You got about 5 weeks until you play the Browns, so that's really your next shot at like another win. So no, I mean, hey, if you can take down the Chiefs, do us all a favor. I mean, I got no problem with that.
I can only hope.
Yeah, so but no, enjoy it for now, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you guys do in the offseason.
Ooh, what a game that would be if the
man.
Raiders came out with that one over the Chiefs. Marcus, go ahead and wrap us up. What are your thoughts?
He's already talking about the offseason. Jeez. Yeah, no, great win. Remember, I had you guys winning that game. That was
You did,
I was scared about it, but there was no sweat towards the second half of that game. I was like, okay, I think we're good. I think the Raiders are going to win this one. The only thing I'll say is it's just irony. You guys haven't been relevant since Bill Callahan, and that was the game that fired his son, Brian Callahan. And I thought that was just
got his ass back.
Poetic.
True.
Poetic.
That is true.
Poetic.
That is true.
Good thought there, Marcus. I like that.
I like
And
that.
so I will give Marcus that was a pretty impressive pull. That was a good one, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Bow down to you on that one. But fellas, let's go ahead and let's get into these previews. But before we do so, real quick, I want to let the good people know about RotoWire, baby. RotoWire is back, and they are back like never before, okay? Go ahead and sign up and use the code you see on the screen, RTS, for 15% off. You guys know them because we talked about them in the beginning of the season. We talked about them in the offseason, talking about their fantasy sources to make sure that you guys end up number one in every single fantasy league that you have this year. But now we are talking about their player props, right? Their odds to make sure that you make some real money this football season and come out with the best possible outcome. So if you look at RotoWire, they're going to give you all of the best odds for the week on every single player, guys that you should lean the more of and guys that you should lean maybe the less of. So as you can see here, they want you to take the more, or the over rather, of Matthew Stafford passing yards of 244.5. They want you to take the over on rushing yards for Kyren Williams, who's projected to have 64.5. But they also want you to stay away here from T. Higgins, okay? 50.5 receiving yards, as you see right here. They also want you to take the under on passing yards for Joe Flacco. These are just some of the odds that you can get with RotoWire, making sure that you don't lose money when you bet this year, but instead you make some extra cash. So link in bio to RotoWire, again, for 15% off using code RTS. But all right, fellas, let's go ahead and let's get into these games. Of course, we have to start off with the number one team here in the AFC West, and that is the Chargers. Coming off of a win, but they're playing Indiana Jones, who is lightning hot right now. Andrew, what are your expectations for this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. And thank you for acknowledging that we're number one. I had an argument with a buddy of mine who's a Broncos fan. He's like, oh, no, we're number one. I said, you're tied for number one. We have the tiebreaker. Anyways. So, look, this is going to be a tough game. The Bull Bros will be there. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a very hard game. The Colts look very good. Indiana Jones has played very well. And clearly, anyways, I can talk about the whole Giants organization. They shouldn't have let him walk. But I digress. Look, so the Chargers, I'm going to pick the Chargers for this game. And I'll tell you why. And you guys might laugh at me. I don't know if you guys are going to pick the Chargers for this one very often. But on the defensive side of the ball, Khalil Mack should be back. We got Odafe. I completely forgot to talk about him. He got his first sack of the year with the Chargers, I think on his third or fourth snap this last game. So Odafe, Tuli Pelotu, and Khalil Mack on the field against the Colts should be pretty good. We also should be getting a linebacker back as well, too. And then also on the offensive side of the ball, we should be getting our right tackle, Joe Alt, our left tackle, and also Trey Pipkins, our right tackle, and Quentin Johnson could be coming back as well, too. Some of these players were held back this last game just because they were getting ready for the Colts. So we should be as healthy as week one against the Colts, and that's why I'm thinking the Chargers should take the dub. It's going to be a tough game, guys. I mean, again, the Chargers like to always make every game interesting. You know that. I know that. The NFL knows that. But I think we win by a field goal, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm excited to be there. Be a lot of fun. And I'm picking the Chargers.
All right, guys. Andrew is picking the Chargers. Let's go on over to Ryan. Ryan, do you think the Chargers are also going to get a big statement win here to get back on track?
I saw this Colts team live, and the Broncos almost beat the Chargers with a pretty subpar offensive performance, and this Colts offense is rolling. I'm gonna take the Colts on this one. And also, shout out to Daniel Jones for being a smart person, because a lot of people in the NFL, especially quarterbacks, don't recognize when an organization is garbage and going to fail them. And he had the Giants cut him to get out of there last year, or was it last year? Yeah. So shout out to Daniel Jones for that, because now he got in a good situation, and he has proven along with other guys like Mac Jones and Baker Mayfield, that sometimes it's not just the quarterback, it's also their surroundings as well. So I'm taking the Colts.
All right. Andrew's taking the Chargers. Ryan's taking the Colts. Marcus, where are you going to go?
So you guys know I'm a degenerate. So I always look at the public. I was looking at the public money on these games. So this game, the public's 70% of the money is on the Colts to win money line, as well as in the spread. And the sharps, the betting sharps, the professional bettors this week love the Chargers in this spot. Colts are being overvalued in this game. As much as I want to pick the Colts, I think the Chargers are going to win this game this week. So head says the Chargers, but the heart says the Colts. But give me the Chargers in a dub this weekend.
Wow, Marcus is also going to take the Chargers. So, Simone, let's go on over to you. Are you going to make this 3 out of 4 Chargers, or you have this thing split down the middle?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of their tougher opponents for sure. I mean, we've seen the Colts firsthand, and yeah, it wasn't really that good. But I know that the Chargers, they got a lot of players coming back this week, and I think the biggest factor for them is seeing what they do against Jonathan Taylor, and seeing what HN did last week, going into this week with a much better running back. It's going to be tough, but I feel like with the home field advantage and with getting a lot of the players back, key players for the Chargers, I think that the Chargers might sneak in and get this W.
Wow. So we also have Samoan taking the Chargers. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought more of you were going to take the Colts in this game. So I am pleasantly surprised. And Andrew, I see the smile on your face there. I'm sure you're pleasantly surprised too. Now, look, all the expectations are put on the Chargers now. So now it's time to put up or shut up and get this dub. Let us know your guys' thoughts about the game in the comment section below. Let's go on over to you, Ryan, because you guys are coming against another team that hasn't been great this season, but since they made that quarterback change there with Jackson Dart, that team is running with absolute steam. I mean, not just him behind center as a rookie, but also you got Cam Scatterbo, the rookie running back. Both of those guys love contact. I mean, they have the opportunity to avoid contact and not put themselves in harm's way, but they purposely decide to take hits. So this team is certainly lightning hot. They got a big win against the Philadelphia Eagles. What are you projecting to happen in this one?
Well, Scatterbo and Dart are going to have to meet Mr. Dre Greenlaw, probably. I think, yeah, he should be coming back this week. So good luck with that. You're gonna realize you can't get away with that shit with every team. And I think there's been enough film out on Jackson Dart now. You just got to make this dude play from the pocket. I think it's as simple as that. I think this defense is going to eat that offense alive. Ultimately, I think the game's just going to come down to how well can this offensive line play and run the ball to support the passing game. I have a gut feeling it's going to be ugly again. I don't want to feel that. Usually we play a little bit better at home. But I think it's going to be another one of those scenarios where we're going to have probably one really strong quarter. Could be the fourth, could be the third, could be the second, when things are looking smooth. And then, they just stall or something. That's what I'm feeling. Hopefully, the one thing with this defense that they haven't really done is get takeaways. I think they need to start getting some takeaways and forcing some of that to get this offense into a good field position, just to get some of that momentum going. But I don't know. I've lost energy with this offense, man, and just trying to predict what they're going to do because it's completely different every week. So, but I'm still going to take the Broncos winning. If we lose, holy shit, we don't deserve to just trade our spot with the Raiders because they'll probably play harder than us. But yeah, I'm still going to take the Broncos on this one.
Ryan's going to take the Broncos against a gritty New York Giants team, which, let me tell you, Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart aren't going to have a long NFL career if those guys keep putting themselves in harm's way. That's all I'm going to say about that matter. I mean, especially the quarterback inviting contact and leading with his head is one of the most absurd things I've seen. I mean, he's been in the blue medical tent over the last 2 weeks. He was in the blue medical tent during the preseason too. So, I mean, hey, if you can bet on that, take the over on Jackson Dart heading to the blue medical tent. But Marcus, let's go down to you. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think the Giants are an overvalued team. I think everyone saw what they did against the Eagles, and I'm seeing right now it's not that much. 60% of the money is on the Broncos to just win this game outright. 80% of the money is on the Giants to win to cover the spread, the 7 points, which I think is interesting. I think that a lot of people saw what the Broncos did against the Jets last week, coming back over from across the pond and narrowly winning that game. I think the Broncos win in a blowout this week. I think they win by 2 possessions in this game. Also, the lowest total point game for the week. 39.5 is the total points for this game. I think Broncos win this weekend against the Giants, and I think by 10, 2 possessions. So give me the Broncos.
I could see it.
All right, Marcus is also taking the Broncos. Keep in mind, too, this was a Giants team that, although they, beat the Philadelphia Eagles last week on Thursday Night Football, the week prior, they also lost to the New Orleans Saints and gave them their first win of the season. So let's definitely keep both of those things in mind. Samoan, let's go on over to you. What do you think about the game?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those matchups for Jackson Dart and them. It's going to be a good test for them because, like we stated earlier, I mean, the Broncos defense is definitely going to be the key for the Broncos winning any games moving forward. But, it just depends on what the Broncos can do. I know Nick Benito's been lighting it up and getting to the quarterback, and I feel like that's going to be the biggest key for them in this game is just to put a lot of pressure on Jackson Dart. But I feel like with all the momentum riding right now and seeing how I feel like they feel on cloud nine, right? Like they feel like they could compete with any team out there. And I feel like with the Broncos offense not really matching that same energy, I got to go with the Giants on this one.
Wow, Samoan's going to go with the Giants on this one. All right, taking the upset. Andrew, let's go on up to you. You going to split this one down the middle? Do you also like the upset in favor of the New York Giants, or you going to make it 3 out of 4 Denver?
Yeah, so pretty interesting game. I have a good friend who's a Giants fan, and I have a good friend who is a Broncos fan. And guys, we saw the Giants. Like, we gave them their first win. And Jackson Dart came out, thought he was just going to get his start versus the Saints. No, he came to the Chargers, and we got beat, So, look, here's the thing. The Giants, to me, are a deceptive team in a weird way because I think the defense is better than they've played. They have an amazing front defensive line. Amazing, right? That pass rush is pretty solid. Now, again, the Chargers have a pretty weak offensive line. And Ryan, you said the Broncos offensive line has looked bad. I think they're going to get exposed. I think Bo Nix is going to struggle a little bit, and your offense hasn't looked good. Your defense has kept you in the game. Man, I just think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I think the Giants are going to pull it out. And again, Jackson Dart has impressed me. And Colby, you said it best. They're not going to have a very long NFL career if he doesn't start sliding because he has taken blows to the head left and right. And dear God, get on the ground. Like, what is he doing? And Cam Scatterbo, dude, that guy's going to end up on a wheelchair at some point. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. Like, what is going on? Like, they cannot act like berserkers out there. So, hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see how much gas they have in the tank. But, again, I think it's going to be a squeaker. Giants are going to win versus the Broncos by, 3, something like that.
Yeah, they certainly got to learn to calm their rookies down. Feels like they're just feeling hot. They're feeling themselves. And that's certainly great. But you also got to say, hey, longevity in this league matters. And if we are going to win this game and win games in the future, we also need you. I mean, I obviously hope this doesn't happen, but it also wouldn't surprise me to see a situation where the Giants are dominating the game. They have the lead. Jackson Dart gets injured. He's in the blue medical tent. Not so lucky to come out this time. And now all of a sudden you put in Russell Wilson, and now the Denver Broncos are able to get
Give him to me. Give him to me.
You'll take that win wherever you can get it, but boy, oh boy, let's go and let's get into the final game here, previewing week 7 for the AFC West, a big in-division game. We got the Raiders, who are 2-4, with the Chiefs, who are 3-3. Marcus, let's start with this one. What are you projecting to happen as both of these teams are coming off of wins?
So I'll start with, I'll just do Patrick Mahomes' stats against the Raiders in his career. So record-wise, 12-2. Against the Raiders, 4,141 yards passing, 33 touchdowns to 5 interceptions against the Raiders in 14 games. But the positive for the Raiders is the only 2 losses he's had have been in Kansas City. So he's 5-2 against the Raiders in Kansas City. So that gives you a glimmer of hope for the Raiders in this matchup. But we talked about earlier, Rashee Rice is back in this game. Rashee Rice has only played the Raiders twice. Like I said, his breakout game was against the Raiders his rookie season. But in 2 games against the Raiders, 14 catches, 164 yards, and 1 touchdown. I do think they're going to try to make a statement to try to give him the ball. The kind of the motto, the pass catchers have been kind of tweeting out for the last few weeks as they geared up for Rashee Rice coming back. It was EGE, everybody's got to eat. And I think we're going to see everyone eat this weekend against the Raiders. 92% of the money is on the Chiefs to win money line. But again, we're a 12.5 point favorite. So not really getting much value there. 56% of the money is on the Raiders to cover the spread, and I do think it could be close. I mean, the Raiders do have a good defense. I know people want to shit on the Raiders. They do have a good defense. Crosby has a solid rapport with Patrick Mahomes. They've had some good head-to-heads over the years. But I think the Raiders win. I think the Chiefs win this game.
Hey, leave that in there.
I think the Chiefs win, but I think the Raiders cover the spread. I do think that. So Chiefs win. Yeah. The Raiders cover the 12.5 points.
All right, Marcus got the Chiefs winning the game. Simone, let's go on over to you. Do you think that there's any way your Raiders win this game?
Man, like I said, we riding off of a high, man. It's funny because I heard a lot of Raider fans after the game like, hey, bring the Chiefs now. And I'm like, hey, chill, man. Let's just enjoy it right now. It's going to be a tough matchup for sure, And it sucks now because the Chiefs are riding hot right now offensively. Even though they took a loss last week, they still look good up until that last play. But, they're getting a lot of players back. And we don't really fare well against the Chiefs. I feel like we keep it competitive for sure. And that's one thing that I'm a kind of hang my hat on is the fact that no matter what the record is, this game is – I don't know why the Raiders always seem to just want to be, like, real competitive when we play the Chiefs. Now we haven't won a lot of them, but I'm just saying, like, it's going to be one of those games that could be a sneaky one. And I'm really worried about Geno Smith and how he's going to perform at Arrowhead in that environment. It's going to be tough as well. And the last time we won against them was on Christmas, I believe so. But it's all going to come down to the defensive side of the ball and what the Raiders can do. Tough task, but if they could at least get to Patrick Mahomes and kind of throw him off rhythm, then we have a chance. I know Marcus said earlier that, the Chiefs so far this season have dominated against, top offenses. Well, good thing the Raiders don't really have a top offense. So I feel like we have a chance, and maybe they let their guard down because they're riding off of a high. So,
that's a good thing.
Just because we came off a win last week, I'm rolling with my Raiders. I'm putting some hope in them. I'm feeling a little bit optimistic. And, I mean, this would be a win that could, oh, my goodness, going into the bye week would be perfect. So right now, I'm holding on to that dream that we'll win this weekend.
And so, Samoan, just for the record, you are indeed taking your Raiders to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes,
for the
sir.
record.
Put my money on black. Yes, sir.
I give you props, brother. I give you props. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Andrew, let's go on up to you. Let's see what the rest of the panel thinks about this game. Andrew, do you believe that somehow, some way, Christmas comes early for Raiders fans?
Come on now.
Love you, Samoan, but ain't no way in hell that's going to happen. Here's the thing, dude.
All right.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I love you to death, buddy. I love you to death. I love your optimism. Yeah, you got to rep your team. I get it. Dude, the Chiefs are rolling now, man. And look, they took care of business against the Lions. And I'm sorry, dude. Bro, what did I didn't even see the stats that Geno Smith had. I mean, he is a pick machine, so look, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be turnovers. It's going to be all kinds of problems. I mean, any way you slice it. And Marcus, you said what, 12 points? Is that the spread? So
yeah, it went from 10.5 to 12.5 now.
Let's go, Mike.
God.
Let's go, Mike.
I mean, I almost don't even think they covered that spread at this point. I mean, look, the Raiders are bad, dude. So, I mean, love you to death, Samoan. And Chiefs going to put a hurting on you guys here pretty soon. So, yeah, going Chiefs.
All right, Andrew's going Chiefs. Ryan, we know that you love to pick the upsets. Are you going to make this one split down the middle and go with the Raiders?
Hell no. I'm taking the Chiefs. Like I said, enjoy that win this Chief guy because shit is not going to be sweet this week.
Yep.
So, hey, but if it comes to the end of the game and, things are close, just know I'm rooting for you guys. So.
So,
yeah, I'm right there with you too.
Yeah, just know if you keep it close, I'm rooting for you guys, and I'm all for the Raiders this week, but I don't see it happening.
So Ryan sounds like he ultimately believes when it all comes down to it, the Chiefs will win, but he is rooting for the Raiders, Samoan. So although he doesn't have your team winning, he does want your team to win. So
I'm never going to put my faith in Geno Smith. No way.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, that's understandable for sure.
Yeah. I think Raiders fans are probably right there with you, but hey, look, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. I want to get into the remainder of these super chats. Before we go ahead and we log off, we got Golden Kings Toys coming in with a $2 donation. It says, KC refs are back. No wonder Vegas had the win Super Bowl. All right. All right. Leo comes in here with a $2 donation and says, Colts will go to the Super Bowl. All right, Leo. I like it. I like it. Make sure you go ahead and tell our Colts creator that here on Roundtable Sports. I'm sure Derek would love to hear that optimism. But right now, I mean, look, in the regular season, feels like maybe the Colts are in the driver's seat for the AFC. But is the moment going to be too big for Daniel Jones once the postseason comes? Just like we've seen it be an issue for Lamar Jackson at times. Playing in the postseason, playing in the regular season, two very different things. Only time will tell. But guys, this is where we kick it off to you guys. What are your thoughts on these games? Let us know in the comment section below. We will be live next Tuesday, same time, same place, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, to break down Week 7 and preview Week 8. But as always, we appreciate you guys so much for watching. Check out these guys' individual channels linked in the description box below. They do amazing work breaking down their teams every other day that they're not here on the AFC West Roundtable. We got one more super chat to get into. We got Gino coming in here with a $2 donation. Says, I would never put faith in you either, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Gino's coming in here with a little bit of talk back here to Ryan, but gonna be a good show next week nonetheless, breaking down these games. Leave a big like on your way out, guys. Subscribe here to the AFC West Roundtable, and until next time, appreciate you guys for watching.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.